and Floyd Owens.
Hey, it's BT with the BT GP review of Phillip Island. I know you're going, why did it take so long? Listen to me. First of all, I'm traveling. Second of all, what I had to do to watch this race, I went to this hotel I wasn't even supposed to be in. Right? I watched it. Now, I don't know how to operate computers. I'm kind of socially kind of so I went in and I watched the race without any sound. Okay, without sound, I watched the race. I'm in a lonely hotel lobby, nobody else there, and I'm going, right, watching this race, and a feeling of euphoria came over as I'm watching this race, going, oh my God, how great can this race get? And I can't describe to you this race. Anyway, you guys watched it, so let's get down to it. Let's get start with Moto 3, man. Moto 3, the drama. I almost felt bad because I remember when I saw Danny Kent in Assen, I said, Danny, the race is yours. You got it, man. The championship is yours. You got it. And I'd be damned what happened. The last 2 weeks, Danny Kent fall off the bike. What? And I just read today where Enea Bastianini blamed Danny Kent. He said, I think Kent was in a hurry to get up to the front, and that's why he made that mistake. I watched it, and I thought it was Antonelli who went into Danny Kent. But pressure plays a lot into this. I still think Danny Kent's going to win the championship. I really do. If you met Danny Kent, he just looks like a champion. He carries himself like a champion. But there's a couple of there's little cracks coming out, a little bit of cracks. And Miguel Oliveira has been hotter than pastrami. He's been hotter than Beyonce eating a hot pastrami sandwich in Sepang at about 11 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. That's how hot he is. Miguel Oliveira is coming alive, and now he's in the fight for second with Bastianini, and an outside chance of a championship. And it was this time a couple of years ago, if you remember, Moto 3, where I thought Maverick Vinales was done for. Remember, I thought he was done for, and some mistakes happened with Salom, and look what happened going into the last race in Valencia, and Maverick Vinales ended up winning the Moto 3 championship. So I still think it's Kent, but the momentum has slowly shifted to Miguel Oliveira. If you watched it, Miguel Oliveira is hot right now. And that race was great. I hated seeing, you know me, I hate seeing anybody crash. I really do. I thought the crash personally was Antonelli's fault. I know this is annoying. Listen, people are over. Anyway, so I thought it was annoying. I thought it was Antonelli's fault, but Bastianini didn't think it was Danny Kent's fault for pushing too hard. I don't know, you gotta watch it again. Anyway, so let's go to Moto 2. Moto 2, congratulations to Alex Rins. Alex Rins made the race. I don't say it was boring, but great for Alex Rins. He's looking great. He should get a factory ride after next year. And I think it's a brilliant move by Zarco to wait another year and then probably get the factory ride with KTM. But I don't think he's going to repeat. I think next year Moto 2 is going to be more exciting. You're going to have Jonas Folger. You're going to have him and Sandro Cortese on the same team, an all-German team, which is kind of scary, an all-German team. And then you're going to have I think Alex Marquez will finally get his footing down. My buddy Dominique Gerter's coming back, which I think he's going to be in the hunt for the championship. So I think Moto 2 next year is going to be great. And Alex Rins, I think, is going to be the champion for next year. He's looking great now. He's coming into his own. So watch for Alex Rins. Congratulations. Let's move on to Moto GP. That's the race we want to talk about. And plus, I got to catch a plane. Moto GP, like I said, I watched the race in a hotel lobby at 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't even know what time it was, and I was spellbound. I had to watch it again. I just watched it again with the sound with Nick Harris. You hear Nick Harris's voice crack. That's how great of a race it was. First of all, you got the seagull. I mean, a seagull. He headbutted like. I mean, they don't call him Crazy Joe for that. He headbutted like. I'm going right into it. You got to love that dude for that. He's Crazy Joe for a reason. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I saw a seagull and I'm racing. It's like, oh, I mean, seriously. What do you see? You see a wild animal on the track. Lucky it wasn't a koala bear. He would have just stayed there and went to sleep. But luckily the seagull tried to get out of the way. But why am I talking about a seagull? Anyway, and maybe it played a point. Maybe it played a little part in Iannoni's power. Because if you watch that Ducati was a rocket going down that straightaway, a rocket. And then the fact that that seagull tore a piece of that fiberglass out, or a carbon fiber, whatever it made out of, maybe that messed with the aerodynamics a little bit, because it was already a rocket. It could have been more of a rocketer. That's not even a word, but it could have been even more of a rocket. You know what I'm trying to say? It could have been even faster. So maybe it messed with the aerodynamics, but when Iannone, a star, was born in that race. First of all, if Iannone gets a chance to race Mark, Iannone could be on his deathbed, like clinging to life, and like, okay, it's over, and all of a sudden they say, hey, Marquez is here. He'd be like that. I don't know what it is. He and Marquez have staged the greatest battles in Moto 2, and to be honest, he was one of the few riders in Moto 2 that I said he can beat Marquez straight up in a race, which he did a couple times. Paul Espargo, yeah, but it was more, Iannone was the only one who could mess with Marquez in Moto 2. Even though Stefan Bradl won the championship, Iannone was the only one who could mess with Marquez straight up, head-to-head battle, one-on-one, everything equal. Iannone's the only one. And now, Iannone has confidence with that move he did with 2 laps left when he went up inside Rossi and Marquez, and he made Rossi look at him like, hey, man, I thought we were countrymen. Iannone was like, hey, man, I'm sorry, And people were mad at Iannone. Iannone's trying to get paid, too. I mean, they're both racing. I mean, I watched the internet. I saw the internet how people were, like, mad at Iannone for saying he's thwarting Rossi's chance at the championship, but he's got to ride, too. I mean, they got jobs to do. He can't be like, hey, you're my buddy. Go ahead. I'll just stick with trying to get third or whatever. He's got a race, too. It wasn't Rossi's fault. Rossi was just a tad bit off the pace, a smidgen off the pace. You know what I mean? Like, you don't feel right sometimes. Like, let's just say you're going to go out and you took a shower and you shaved and then, and then you forgot to put deodorant on and you're like, oh, okay, I should be good. But you just don't feel right, You just don't feel right. Man, I should have put deodorant on. You just don't feel right. That's how he was. He was like, Rossi was just a little bit off the pace. It was a little uncomfortable. But he's in a race pace. He had great race pace, but he just couldn't quite get with the lead group. Even though he was with the lead group, Rossi just couldn't pull it off. And Iannone, like I said, a star was born. He proved that he could race with the best, with Marquez and Lorenzo and Rossi. I mean, those are the top 3 riders right there, and he proved he could race, so now his confidence is sky high. And the last thing you want if you're Rossi or Lorenzo is a sky high confidence. I'm making that word up. Confidence. Iannone going into the last 2 races of the year where you're trying to win a championship. It's bad enough. You got Marquez who's got nothing to lose. You got a 22-year-old who's got nothing to lose. That's scary right there. All right, it's like a gang member. It's like he's got nothing to lose, and he lives like across the street from me. Like, oh man, this kid's gonna rob me, and that's what Iannone's gonna do. He's gonna rob somebody of a championship. He's gonna put himself either between Lorenzo and Rossi, or between Rossi and Lorenzo, and Marquez also. So now going into Sepang, you got Iannone, Pedrosa, and Marquez. Those are the 3 variables going into Sepang. I can't wait. I mean, the race, I can't describe it. Marquez was almost a second down in the last lap, and he said he went 100% then. He said his tire got hot, and then he couldn't control it, and then he said, you know what, I'm pushing for this last 100% on the last lap, and that's what he didn't think he could catch Lorenzo. That's what he said. That's why I waited to do this race review, because he said he didn't think he could make it, but he did. He pushed 100% in last lap, and that was orgasmic. I mean, honestly, I still have goosebumps watching that race. I love MotoGP. I always have. But that race made you, honestly, I almost felt like I wanted to cry. I was so happy I wanted to cry. I know that sounds kind of wimpy coming from a man, a strong black man. But it was like I wanted to cry. I was so happy. I watched the race for the 2nd time, and I had goosebumps. You understand? I knew the outcome. I still had goosebumps. I love this sport. I love those riders. Kudos to them. Everybody benefited from that race. Rossi lost some points, but he gave it his all. I mean, he really couldn't do any better than what he did. He really didn't. That race was great because it was pretty much as even as you can get. Tire wear really didn't play. It was about as even as you can get, especially for Phillip Island. I mean, that disaster they had a couple years ago where he had to come in after 9 laps. Anyway, that race was a classic. I think I'm going to watch it again. That's how great it was. Rossi did the best he could. Now going on to Sepang. Sepang is going to be great because, Rossi runs well there, Lorenzo runs well there, and Marquez and Iannone. Oh, my God. Iannone has confidence. Less than a week removed. It's going to be an all-out war. So Rossi realized what he has to do. If he qualifies on the front row, oh, my God. Seriously, oh, my God. It's like I said. It's like having fresh pizza on a Friday night, and that girl you've always wanted to talk to, for some reason, hey, you want to come over? And she goes, yeah, sure, where you live? And you're like, are you serious? That's what that race is going to be like if Rossi qualifies in the front row with Marquez and Lorenzo or Iannone. I mean, if that happens, the hot chick is coming over and you got pizza and you're watching MotoGP. That's how great of a dream scenario. And she turns out she likes you and she's funny. It never happens. A hot chick who's funny and she likes you, never happens. Anyway, that's what that race is going to be like. Phillip Island was the best race of the year so far. Equal terms of just an all-out war, an all-out race, and really tires didn't really play a big factor. You know, it wasn't raining. It just proved you don't have to have a rain race for it to be a good race. And one of the first times ever I saw Lorenzo get hunted down, and if you saw his face after the race, it was like, I mean, it was a battle, and he lost the battle against Marquez. I mean, he tried to say, yeah, I'm glad, you know, he came in between me and Rossi, but he lost that battle, that crucial battle. Like, he's great if he gets the lead, but as far as a straight-up battle, he lost that battle. So that's got to play into your mind. I mean, no matter what happens, if you're invincible, then you win, and you win by big margin, all of a sudden that straight-up battle, which people talked about, and you lose what people say you're going to lose at, that's a mental game. So it's going to play on his mind. So Sepang is a lot of mind games, mental games. The best of mental games is Rossi. The great thing about Marquez is he didn't play mental games. He just goes out and goes all out because he's 22 and he has no fear. So Iannone and Marquez, oh my God. Anyway, I hope you guys love this race review like I did. It went way too long, almost 12 minutes. I don't give it credit. I don't give a damn. Anyway, and also I scored 133 points on the MotoGP Fantasy League, so I was actually fifth. I was fifth. So yeah, that's how I called that race. I called it all the way down. And props to Maverick Vinales. If Suzuki matches Vinales' talent, oh my God, he's the next alien. Trust me, Maverick Vinales, yeah, he is the future. Maverick Vinales, Iannone, and Marquez. If Rossi doesn't win it this year, he might not have a chance to win it again because these guys are coming and they're coming hard for him. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'm BT. I got to catch a plane. Okay, thanks a lot for the BT Jeep review. Talk to you guys later. Peace.